5:36 on this Friday afternoon, Friday, March 22, 2024. This is the Nationwide Cover Story. My name is George Davis.
And I'm Chevon Campbell.
How are you, sir?
Doing quite well.
Excellent. Before we get into the cover story, just an editor's note and a clarification. And we should apologize to the opposition leader, Mark Golding, because today in the midday news, we carried the story about the Integrity Commission declaring that no reports from that office had been tabled, had been sent to Parliament, but not tabled. The Integrity Commission saying that that claim was not true. The story we carried said that the opposition leader had said that Mrs. Holness, the House Speaker, had not tabled reports from the Integrity Commission. Of course, that wasn't so, because what the opposition leader did say at the opposition leader's office on Tuesday after that parliamentary walkout, where he said that reports from the Auditor General's Department weren't tabled, which was true because they were sent back. And he also said that reports from the Integrity Commission were sent to committees. Yeah, he was clear in what he said. So he did not say that reports from the Integrity Commission were not tabled in Parliament, that they're being suppressed. He did not say that. And we clarified that in the story we carried at 5, but it was the midday report, which was problematic. And yeah, we want to just clarify that Mr. Golding did not say so, and we moved to set the record straight in the story we carried at 5. All right, let's get cracking now. Prime Minister Andrew Holness has announced an initiative through the HEART NSTA Trust to reach those young people not equipped to compete in the labor force.
The initiative, dubbed the Community Action for Rewarding Engagement, or C.A.R.E. initiative, will provide a grant to those enrolled in the various programs offered by HEART. The Prime Minister made the announcement during his contribution to the 2024-2025 budget debate in the House of Representatives on Thursday. Robin Williams has that report.
While celebrating the record low unemployment rate of 4.2%, the Prime Minister says this has created a shortage of labor. He says the challenge facing his government now is how to bring thousands of young people into the labor force. And according to the Prime Minister, the C.A.R.E. initiative is a game changer in the making.
So remember now, we have 724,000 persons outside the labor force. We have 4.2% who are unemployed, which represents 57,300 persons unemployed. Now, the member from St. Andrew South said we must never contemplate importation of labor. Yeah, you said that, and I agree with you. I think we should do everything in our power right now to get all our youngsters, everyone who is available. We must get all of them, every one of them. We must get them into our labor force. We have too many of them, too many.
The Prime Minister says the current shortage of skilled labor is to be regarded as a national emergency. He's now enabling the HEART NSTA Trust to address that emergency.
So this year, the HEART NSTA Trust will introduce the Community Action for Rewarding Engagement initiative called, what does that spell? That's the C.A.R.E. initiative, to reach every young man and woman who is not working and is not enrolled in a training program. HEART will be proactive in finding you and bringing you to the well of training. If our economy is to grow, we need every able-bodied man and woman who is able and capable of working to join the labor force.
Each member of Parliament will be asked to identify 30 young persons from their constituency for the program. Once enrolled, participants will be given monthly grants amounting to $67,000 each.
Making HEART free of tuition is great, but some of them struggle to find money for transportation and to buy lunch. This is a dilemma, and this is why we have decided that every student enrolled in HEART under the new C.A.R.E. initiative will receive a monthly transportation stipend of $15,000 to offset transportation costs to the HEART institutions. The grant will be tied to their attendance, obviously, and we will go even further. All trainees under the C.A.R.E. program will receive an additional stipend of $13,000 per week for the duration of the training.
The Prime Minister also announced a grant to help newly skilled workers to purchase the tools for their particular trade.
This administration believes in economic independence and self-empowerment. Not every young person will be an employee. We need more self-employed. We need more young entrepreneurs. Having removed tuition fees for all HEART programs up to level 4, this year we're building on that. Starting April 1, 2024, every successful graduate of a level 4 trade program will receive a grant of $50,000 to help them acquire the tools of their trade and to step up to the next stage of their career. For those who are on path or wards of the state, this grant will be increased to $75,000.
Robian Williams for Nationwide News.
That's Prime Minister Andrew Holness. So when we listened to what the Prime Minister said, we felt it necessary to speak to people who've come through the HEART programs over time, who've made successes of their careers, who've done very well in their fields, who are established in their fields, to ask about their progress through the HEART programs and how they interpret these benefits announced by the Prime Minister, what impact those will have on bringing more young people into the fold to trod the path that they walked on to this point in their careers. And we've invited businessman and fashion designer Carlton Brown, culinary artist OG Jaja, and the founder of NexxStepp Lifelong Educational Services, Tishauna Mullings. Good afternoon, lady and gentlemen.
Good afternoon.
Carlton, are you there?
Yeah, yes, George, I'm hearing it, but you're kind of lowish.
Turn up your phone.
Funny enough, Carlton sound a bit low.
All right, Carlton. Are you hearing us any better, Carlton?
Clearish, yeah.
Clearish. All right, good. Let's go. All right, let's start with the lady.
Good evening,
yeah, man.
yeah.
Thank you. Let's start with the lady in the lineup. Tishauna Mullings, you entered, your experience with HEART, I understand that you've interacted with several people who have been products of the training agency. What has been your experience in terms of the quality of people that you've interacted with?
Well, I started my journey with the HEART Trust as an intern, where I did practicum at the Santa Cruz HEART Trust office, all the way back, I think it was in 2012 or 2011, somewhere there in my final year of my undergrad. And then since then, having established NexxStepp Lifelong Educational Services, I've been able to engage HEART Trust apprentices through various programs. So for example, there's a program called the Graduate Work Experience Program, GWEP, where students who graduate from university and are not immediately able to find employment are put through a training and then placed in a 6-month internship. So there are many programs of that sort that HEART Trust have, including SL School Leavers Training Program. That's for those who are leaving high school. So I've been able to engage them in my organization during summer school program. We go into corporate companies and train, and it's immaculate what is possible when a young person is exposed and immersed in that kind of way. Almost every single intern through HEART Trust that has passed through us, once they are 1 year on a job, they are getting promotions. So it means that something great is happening in terms of the type of training that they're getting at HEART Trust, and then the support from industry partners like myself and many other industry partners across Jamaica that is giving them that immersion. So it goes from it's not just a theoretic training in the classroom, which by the way I've been involved with as well. So I've been interacting at various touch points. I prepared them for industry work. I've engaged them as an industry partner, and I was an intern at HEART Trust myself. So I think HEART Trust is doing a fantastic job. What I'd like to see more of is more like...
Hold it on that point, Tishauna. Hold it on that point. We're going to take the break. We're going to take the experience of the other two men, and then we look at what the Prime Minister announced and how it sets up HEART to deliver more for more young people in Jamaica after the break.
Welcome back to the cover story as we discuss HEART, the training institution now at the center of what the Prime Minister has dubbed the Community Action for Rewarding Engagement, or C.A.R.E. initiative, which will see several youngsters benefit from skills training at the cost of the state, and they'll be provided grants to encourage them to stay enrolled and complete the course in order to be better providers to their families and to our very, very tight labor market which currently exists. Discussing this now with us are two people who went through the program, businessman and fashion designer Carlton Brown and culinary artist OG Jaja, as well as someone who helps people find educational services. That's founder of NexxStepp, Tishauna Mullings. Carlton Brown, you went through HEART. When did you go through and what was your experience?
Yeah, good evening, everyone. I went to the program that was in, Lord Jesus, in 1998. No, 1988.
Exactly, because
right?
you surprised me there.
1988. Wow.
But anyway, in 1988, right? And back then, we didn't call it stipend, I get my envelope.
Yes.
Right? And all it was is that them time they get in $300 and something are near. It never passed 500. I can guarantee that. Because with the past 500, I couldn't talk to them because I have it. Mm-hmm. But them time it was just that, right? And then it was just personal for me. It was because I had a love and a passion for it from 7 years of age. It was a no-brainer for me. Just want to go, right? But in all, it wasn't bad. But if you want the truth from me, or you want to sugarcoat it, tell me. I'm gonna tell you.
No. Tell us the truth. Yeah.
Is that what the Prime Minister announced the other day? Two days ago.
Yesterday.
Yes. Yesterday is really not new, right? But what is new are more money. But you see, to be honest with you, George, and I mean everyone here this evening, when I was listening to everything, I realized that I know not new, but I like what I'm hearing. But at the same time, for me, because I had a love and a passion for it, when I was going there, I was 51 students. I was the only one boy. Mm-hmm. As you go along, when you start a course, some people carry through, some just fall off, by the way. When all is said and done, it was 31. I was still the only one boy.
Mm-hmm. Oh, dear.
Right? And because I had a love and a passion for that, I stick to it, and I to go through everything, I got what I got. But the plus for me is that I never depend on just HEART in itself. Why? Let me tell you, because I grew up, I have till I ran it down Mountain View, I did have Wiggles up at the road, I did have, the lady who raised in Smarter Wallace, Mayor Solers in Peace, she's a dressmaker, see her son to Rani Desert Wallace. So I had it all around. You know what I mean? So I just really and truly went to HEART, just the papers, because I was getting it from the original grassroots skill set and brain.
But you needed a certification from them.
I just want to be qualified and that to do. So even when I went to the school, I wait for them.
Yes. So just to be clear, Carlton, you're saying that from you were going into the program in 88, the kind of facilitation where the government was helping you to see out the course of the program, that help was there at that time?
It was. So that's I know it's not new, but as I go along, things and times change. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. So yeah, but at the end of the day, to be honest with you, so from there, from 88, because it was a 2-year thing. You know what I mean? So by 1990, you finish, and then with that now, that same course I did and all of that led me through the factories. Right, in the same garments complex. Mm-hmm. So we do from the school to the garments. So learning the intricacies of different stitching and different machines. I learned all of that within the factory as well. You know what I mean? So what they have down there now, let me be honest with you, George. Everyone. What they have down garments, it's a brilliant layout of everything. But if you want the honest truth, to me, it just become one big warehouse at this point. Mm-hmm. Because there's no follow through throughout the years. None whatsoever. No follow through to to keep it going. Mm-hmm. And somewhere along the line, something drop off and something turn over.
Mm-hmm. And OG Jaja, you're a culinary artist. What was your experience at HEART? And just start with when you started at HEART.
Well, good afternoon, everyone.
Yes, OG, what?
All going, Carlton. So I started at HEART in 1998, and I did the 1-year program with the culinary arts. It was, and I've always said this, that HEART is the foundation for my growth and development. It is a wonderful initiative. With regards to quality of persons coming out of the institution. Yeah, we've gotten a few good people coming out of it. At this point, I feel like we're kind of just churning out persons. I'm not sure how comprehensive the training is, because what I remember is that I used to, and maybe it has to do with the persons there and whether or not they're actually passionate about what they're doing. But I remember when I was there, I was doing things like at the hotel, and I went to Runaway Bay Heart Academy,
Yes.
Which is now the C.A.R.E. But when I was there, I would spend hours in the hotel kitchen just because I wanted to get the experience. I'm not sure whether or not that is something that's still facilitated, but I don't get that the trainees coming out of it now are as passionate about it. I think a lot of them are more focused on the money, and I don't know that they're so concerned about honing their skills so that when they do get a particular position, they're actually able to deliver on that position.
But you would say, though, OG, that in terms of the opportunities being present, there's every opportunity for anyone with an interest to see a program through to the finale.
I mean, it's a great start for anybody who is interested in, and I speak about any field, because it gives you the opportunity to go into. So, like, I had the opportunity to work at Sandals, Sanssouci. So all of the hotels on the North Coast, I got the opportunity to work in for maybe a month or a couple of weeks. But the networking and just what you're exposed to was definitely a good experience for me, and I know it was a good experience for all of the other trainees that were there at the time that I was there.
Tishauna, I wonder, your experience, you work with these HEART graduates, have you found that the concern has been raised in terms of the actual cost to them to attend the HEART skills training?
Definitely the concern has been raised, which is why I feel like what has been announced is actually removing some of the excuses, because there are trainees that I was supplementing. So on top of the stipend that they would have received from HEART, they would have used that money for food or for some other home expense, and then they're looking for monies to travel to work. So now that they're getting a stipend towards their travel, a stipend towards food, and I don't suppose that will remove their regular stipend for, especially for those who are on the job experience, there's usually a stipend for the on-the-job work that they're doing. So I think this program is also removing the excuse. But I think somebody raised it earlier about, I think it was Carlton that was saying, you know, he's not sure about the passion, or I think it probably was the other person that they're bringing to the table.
Yes.
Because I have seen programs where people are paid to come to a training, and there's still a high level of attrition. And I'm wondering, if I'm being paid to learn, what would stop me from showing up? So there's an attitudinal aspect that must be worked on, because now there's no young Jamaican that can say, I don't have any opportunity to be engaged because you're being paid to learn, you know, literally. So, I mean, the excuse is gone, so it's about the attitude of our young people.
But certainly that's a societal problem. How does the government address that?
Can I say something with that, Sanjay?
Go ahead.
The government can't do nothing about this, and it's up to the individual. And that's just the reality, because you see, the thing is, you know, if there's a government $1 million tomorrow, you're going to still hear the same excuses always. Because if you, the individual, don't have the love and the passion for what you want to do, there's nobody else can do about it.
Yeah.
There's nothing you can do about it. Because the thing is, it's funny, you know, it's funny when OU was saying that, you know, just he stay back in, you know, because he want to learn more, and got this because he want to learn more. That is what you call love and passion, right? Right now, I can tell you this: if I need 4 persons out of heart down at the garments to come stitch, right? I can't get a straight line.
That's bad.
And I'm just being real.
Yeah. We're going to need another program to get into those details. OG, in terms of the aspect of the announcement from the Prime Minister about the help to buy tools, what's your take on that? Given that you use a lot of tools in your area as a culinary artist.
Well, you're putting me on the spot right now.
Yeah.
I will answer that and say, well, you see, when you leave out, I can't pay anybody $50,000 a week, a month, and expect that they're going to stay with me, right?
Yes.
Because just for them to get to work and get home, it's probably going to cost them that.
Mm-hmm. But you'd say it's a start.
It can help. I just don't know that it's going to be that great of an incentive. From the perspective of, and I wanted to touch back on this point about the passion.
Yes.
Because that is important. We need to also look at how we're selecting persons to join the program, because we can't just allow anybody to come in just because them.
I was going to get there too. Go ahead.
Them want to
and they're wasting resources
for the 9 months or for the year, right?
Yes.
And once we get them in also, I think there's a lot that needs to be done in terms of mindset, because they have to also understand that they're going to be they're not going to leave HEART and go straight into owning a business.
Yes.
It's going to take them time to be able to hone their skills so that they're able to run a business successfully. And when they go into a business, they have to understand that there are certain rules and regulations that are going to have to be followed. They have to also understand that, you have to put in the time. And I don't think a lot of them want to necessarily put in the time.
Yeah.
No, they
That's
don't.
been my experience.
Yeah.
So in terms of the training, I think there should be an aspect to the training that speaks to work etiquette, understanding just how you need to conduct yourself.
Professional culture.
Yeah, I think that's something that we have to thread
in the program.
Yeah.
Because
I was saying that's something that we have to thread throughout the system.
Yes.
Like, not just when you get to HEART Trust, but how are we teaching that from the primary level into the high school level?
Yes.
Transitioning into tertiary,
Yes.
which includes the HEART Trust program and beyond.
Yeah, we're out of time. Carlton, your last word?
For the most part, Jaja need one day for it. But
Yes,
anyway,
we need a whole day, but we're out of time.
Yeah,
but
quick.
here's the last thing. Yeah, go ahead, Carlton.
The last thing I'm going to say is that it's funny, everybody say basically on the same page, but I remember I met with the Prime Minister 2018 to talk about the same thing. He was with it, but COVID come and everything switch and change.
Yes.
We're going to go back to that where he's concerned in terms of the conversation, because we need to have that conversation. But what I'm saying is this, is that I started in school as well, in primary school, right? Them time at all age, and a junior high, at all age. That's where I started, right? So if them call it clothing and textile, my daughter give me some name, now I confused, but anyway, the same something, right? Because everything has changed, but it still remain the same, right? But you can't. It's not everybody can just run in, because you find that half the time who come in, them just come because them granny send them and them mother send them and fill them yard.
Yes, true.
Right? So there's no love and passion for that. So by the time they come in for 2-3 weeks and a month, them say some of the small and gone somewhere else. You're not teaching the same thing.
Yeah.
But we need more time for this show.
Absolutely. The last thing I'll say is this. As I hear the three of you speaking, Carlton Brown, OG Jaja, Tishauna Mullings, there is a person involved in a high-profile murder matter. That person is in remand now. And I shook my head as I heard all three of you speak, because that person was signed up for a HEART course by their supervisor at the place that they worked. And the man told his manager that no, him not on time for that, he had other plans. Apparently the other plans was to be involved
Clearly
in
he had
murder.
other plans.
Jeez and peace. Anyway, I have to leave it there. I can't say any more on that. Thank you very much for your time. We'll talk again. All the best, OG. Thank you, OG. Thank you, Carlton. Thank you, Tishauna.
Yeah, man, you're welcome.